Have you ever wondered if the pill you're taking to protect your heart could also be the reason you don't feel like yourself anymore? Maybe you've started feeling dizzy when you stand up. Maybe you're more tired than you used to be. Maybe your ankles swell by the end of the day, or you just don't have the energy for your usual morning walk. Most people blame aging. They think, I'm over 60, this is just part of getting older. But what if it isn't? What if some of those changes are actually side effects of your blood pressure medication? Now, don't get me wrong. Blood pressure medications save millions of lives every year. They help prevent heart attacks, strokes, and serious damage to the heart and kidneys. If your doctor has prescribed one, you should never stop taking it on your own. But here's what many people don't know. As you get older, your body changes. The medication that was the perfect fit 10 years ago may not affect you the same way today. And recognizing those changes could make all the difference, not just for your blood pressure, but for your energy, balance, and quality of life. That said, most people don't realize something important. The same medication that worked well at 45 may affect your body completely differently at 65, 75, or 85. As we age, kidneys process medicines more slowly. Our bodies hold on to less water. Our sense of balance grows more delicate. Even small blood pressure changes create bigger consequences than they did years ago. This is why some medications deserve closer attention. Not because they're dangerous, but because they may need adjusting, closer monitoring, or a switch to something better suited to where you are now. Many people assume that if they've taken the same prescription for years, it must still work perfectly. Bodies don't stay the same, though. A medication that caused no problems can gradually begin creating subtle side effects. Ones that neither you nor your family members connect to the pills. Maybe you've started feeling unsteady getting out of bed. Maybe you notice more nighttime bathroom trips. Maybe you're more forgetful, more fatigued, less confident on your daily walk. These changes aren't always caused by medication. Sometimes they are the real problem. Older adults often live with these symptoms for months or years without mentioning them to their doctor. They assume it's just aging. They don't realize that one conversation about medications could make a real difference. This isn't about creating fear. It's about helping you become a better partner in your own healthcare. We'll look at 7 common blood pressure medications that sometimes create unexpected problems in older adults, what warning signs to watch for, and what questions might be worth asking your doctor or pharmacist. High blood pressure usually doesn't hurt. You can feel perfectly fine, drink your morning coffee, walk the dog, chat with a neighbor, and never suspect your blood pressure is high. That's why doctors call it silent. The danger isn't what you feel today. It's what happens over time if blood pressure stays high. Constant pressure strains your heart, brain, kidneys, and eyes. Year after year, blood vessels get damaged without obvious symptoms. Blood pressure medication has helped millions of Americans live longer, healthier lives. But here's what matters. Treating high blood pressure in older adults is a balancing act. The goal isn't just to lower the numbers, it's to lower them safely. Many people over 60 find their bodies respond differently to medications than they did 20 years ago. Your liver and kidneys may clear medicines more slowly. You might be taking prescriptions for diabetes, arthritis, cholesterol, or sleep alongside your blood pressure pill. You might take vitamins, herbal supplements, or over-the-counter pain relievers that quietly mix with your prescriptions. Suddenly, something that worked perfectly can start causing unrelated problems. Consider this. A retired man gets out of bed one morning, stands quickly, and the room spins for a few seconds. He steadies himself on the dresser and laughs it off. Just getting older, he thinks. A few weeks later, it happens again, getting out of his recliner. Then at the grocery store. Soon he's avoiding walks because he's afraid of falling. Sometimes the issue isn't that blood pressure is too high. It's that medication is lowering it too much at certain times of the day, especially when standing after sitting or lying down. Doctors call this orthostatic hypotension. What matters is the feeling. Standing up, feeling lightheaded, needing to grab something, or feeling like you might faint, these moments seem small. For older adults, they're one of the biggest health risks around. A broken hip, wrist, or head injury can destroy independence overnight, another common mistake. Assuming every side effect starts right after you begin a new medication. In reality, many side effects develop so gradually you miss them. You've become more tired over the past year. Afternoon energy has disappeared. Stairs feel harder. Or your ankles swell every evening. Each symptom alone doesn't seem alarming. Together they tell a story. One reason this goes unnoticed: older adults tend to normalize discomfort. They've lived through decades of aches and pains. They're resilient. They don't like to complain. So instead of mentioning a new symptom at the doctor's appointment, they adapt. They walk slower. They stop gardening. They skip their evening stroll. They sit down more between chores. Life becomes smaller. Not because of aging alone, but because manageable symptoms get quietly accepted as normal. This is why paying attention to changes after starting a medication, or even after taking the same medication for years, matters. Your body is constantly changing. A prescription doesn't exist alone. It interacts with your age, diet, hydration, activity level, and every other medicine you take. Regular medication reviews are invaluable. Many people think that if a prescription was written years ago, it never needs another look. In reality, healthcare providers often appreciate when patients bring up new symptoms, or that's not questioning your doctor's judgment. One critical point: never stop a blood pressure medication on your own. Stopping suddenly can cause blood pressure to spike, stressing your heart and increasing risk of serious complications. Instead, think of this conversation as guidance for recognizing warning signs and knowing when to have an informed talk with your healthcare provider. Sometimes the solution is adjusting the dose. Sometimes it's changing when you take it. Sometimes another medicine simply fits your current needs better. Knowing the difference can protect not only your heart, but also your balance, energy, and quality of life. Number 1. Diuretics, water pills. You may know them as hydrochlorothiazide, chlorthalidone, or furosemide. These medications help your body shed excess salt and water, lowering blood pressure and reducing heart strain. They've worked safely for decades. But after 60, they can create challenges. Many people don't immediately connect to the pills your typical morning. Take your pills with breakfast, then spend the next hour or two making bathroom trips. That might seem like just an inconvenience. But if you're losing too much fluid, dehydration can set in before you even realize it. Dehydration in older adults doesn't always trigger thirst. Instead, you might feel unusually tired. Your mouth might dry out. You might get lightheaded when standing. You might get muscle cramps in your legs at night. Most people think they simply didn't drink enough water. Sometimes that's true. But the medication, combined with hot weather, yard work, or a stomach bug, could tip the balance too far. Water pills can also lower important minerals, especially potassium and sodium. These minerals keep your muscles and nerves working, including your heart. When they drop too low, you might feel weak, fatigued, get muscle cramps, or notice an irregular heartbeat. This is why your doctor occasionally orders blood tests while you're on these medications. Those labs aren't just routine paperwork. They're checking whether the medicine is still working safely. Here's a common mistake: cutting back on water intake because you don't want constant bathroom trips. That makes dehydration worse. Finding the right balance is important. If frequent urination interferes with your daily life or sleep, talk to your healthcare provider instead of solving it alone. Number 2. Beta blockers. Common examples: metoprolol, atenolol, carvedilol. These slow your heart rate and reduce workload on your heart. Doctors prescribe them not just for high blood pressure, but also after heart attacks, for heart rhythm problems, and for heart failure. They're incredibly valuable for many patients. Because they slow the heart, though, some older adults feel like they're running on half a tank. Your afternoon walk suddenly feels more exhausting than before. Climbing stairs leaves you more winded, even though nothing else has changed. A beta blocker might not be the cause, but it's worth discussing if these are new symptoms. Some people notice their heart doesn't speed up during exercise the way it once did. That's exactly what the medication is designed to do. The challenge is that it makes it harder to judge how hard your body is working. Rather than watching your heart rate alone, many doctors suggest paying attention to how you actually feel. Can you carry on a conversation while walking? Do you recover normally after activity? Are you getting unusually short of breath? Those are useful clues. Another overlooked issue: fatigue. Not the kind you feel after a busy day, but the kind that makes you want to nap every afternoon even after a full night's sleep. Some describe it as feeling slowed down. Others say they've lost their motivation. Fatigue has many causes: poor sleep, anemia, thyroid problems, depression. But medication is one piece of the puzzle that shouldn't be ignored. One important point for people with diabetes: Normally, when blood sugar drops too low, your body sends warning signals. Your heart races. You feel shaky or anxious. Beta blockers can mask those signals, making low blood sugar harder to recognize early. If you have diabetes and take these medications, pay close attention to other symptoms like sweating, confusion, hunger, or sudden weakness. Number 3. Calcium channel blockers examples. Amlodipine, diltiazem, verapamil. These help relax blood vessels so blood flows more easily. For many older adults, they work well and cause few problems. Yet one side effect appears so often that people sometimes think it's just aging, swollen ankles. Maybe your socks leave deeper marks by day's end. Maybe your shoes fit tighter in the evening than this morning. It's easy to blame summer heat or spending too much time on your feet, but calcium channel blockers can cause fluid to collect around the ankles and lower legs. While this swelling is often harmless, it shouldn't be ignored. Mention it at your next appointment. There may be ways to reduce it or determine if something else is contributing. Some people on these medications also get headaches, flushing, or constipation. Constipation especially can become a bigger issue after 60. It may seem like a minor annoyance, but it affects appetite, sleep, comfort, and overall quality of life. Good news. Simple habits often make a real difference. Drink enough fluids, eat fiber-rich foods, stay physically active. The 3 medication groups above have one thing in common. None are good or bad. Each has helped countless people protect their hearts and reduce stroke risk. The real question isn't whether these medicines are dangerous. It's whether they're still the right medication at the right dose for you right now. That's a conversation worth having when your body signals something has changed. Number 4, ACE inhibitors examples: lisinopril, enalapril, benazepril. These are trusted because they relax blood vessels and can protect kidneys, especially in people with diabetes. For many older adults, they're an excellent choice. But they do have a few side effects that often surprise people. One of the most common, a dry, nagging cough. Not a cough from a cold, not one bringing up mucus, just an irritating tickle that appears out of nowhere. Some people spend months thinking it's allergies. Others blame dust in the house or seasonal changes. They buy cough drops. They try humidifiers. They avoid talking for long periods because their throat feels constantly irritated. Then, during a routine checkup, they mention the cough almost as an afterthought. Their healthcare provider looks at their medications and suddenly everything clicks. ACE inhibitors can also raise potassium levels in some people. Potassium is essential for healthy muscles and a normal heartbeat. Too much becomes a problem, especially if your kidneys aren't working as well as they once did. This is why routine blood work matters. It catches changes you can't feel before they become serious. Many people don't realize salt substitutes often contain potassium instead of sodium. Someone trying to eat healthier might use one daily without knowing that. Combined with certain blood pressure medications, it could raise potassium more than expected. This doesn't mean avoiding these products. It means your healthcare provider or pharmacist should know about them. Number 5. ARs, angiotensin receptor blockers, examples losartan, valsartan, olmesartan. These work similarly to ACE inhibitors but are less likely to cause that persistent dry cough. Many people who can't tolerate an ACE inhibitor switch to an IRB with good results. They're not completely free of side effects. Though, like ACE inhibitors, they can affect kidney function and potassium levels, especially if you're dehydrated or taking certain pain relievers regularly. A common mistake appears here. Picture this. You've spent the afternoon working in the yard on a hot summer day. You haven't had much to drink because you didn't want to stop every few minutes. By evening, your knees hurt, so you take an over-the-counter anti-inflammatory. Most people wouldn't think twice. But dehydration, combined with certain pain relievers and medications like ACE inhibitors or ARBs, can stress the kidneys. This doesn't happen to everyone. But it's why doctors ask about every medication you take, even the ones you bought without a prescription. Many people are surprised to learn that over-the-counter doesn't always mean safe. Your pharmacist is one of the most valuable members of your healthcare team. If you're unsure whether a cold medicine, pain reliever, supplement is safe with your prescriptions, don't guess. Number 6. Alpha blockers, examples doxazosin, terazosin. Sometimes doctors prescribe these for high blood pressure. Many older men also take them to help with urinary symptoms from an enlarged prostate. These medicines relax certain muscles, making it easier to urinate. That sounds helpful, and often it is. But they can also lower blood pressure quickly when you stand up. This is one of the biggest reasons falls become a concern. Imagine getting up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. The room is dark, you're still half asleep. You stand, take a few steps, and suddenly everything feels unsteady. That brief dizziness might last seconds, but seconds are all it takes for a fall to happen. Simple habits make a real difference. Pause before standing. Sit on the edge of the bed for a moment. Move slowly. Turn on a small nightlight if possible. These routines might not seem important until the day they prevent an accident. Sometimes the best health advice isn't complicated. It's practical. It's the kind of wisdom that quietly protects your independence. Number 7. Central alpha agonists, example, clonidine. These are less commonly used today for routine high blood pressure, but some people have been taking them for years. They can work very well in certain situations. However, older adults may be more sensitive to side effects like drowsiness, dry mouth, slowed thinking, or reduced alertness. Those symptoms can easily be mistaken for normal aging. Family members might notice someone seeming unusually sleepy during the day. Maybe they lose interest in activities they once enjoyed. Maybe they're less engaged at family dinners or church. Many possible explanations exist. Medication is one that deserves consideration. Clonidine requires extra caution for another reason. It should never be stopped suddenly unless your healthcare provider specifically tells you how. Stopping abruptly can cause blood pressure to rise rapidly, increasing the risk of serious complications. This is true for several medications, not just clonidine. Whenever a prescription needs to change, do it under medical guidance. A pattern is emerging. Most problems don't happen because a medication is dangerous. They happen because bodies change. A dose that was perfect 10 years ago may no longer fit today. A new prescription for arthritis, diabetes, or sleep can interact unexpectedly. Even dehydration after a stomach bug or a long afternoon in the sun can change how your body responds. That's why one of the healthiest habits you can develop has nothing to do with supplements or the latest trends. Keep an updated list of every medication you take. Include prescription medicines, over-the-counter products, vitamins, herbal supplements, even eye drops. Bring that list to every doctor's appointment and every pharmacy visit. You'd be surprised how often it catches potential problems before they become emergencies. Your medications should support your life, not quietly make everyday activities harder. The more you understand what you're taking and how it affects you, the better equipped you'll be to work with your healthcare team to stay active, independent, and confident for years to come. Never stop a blood pressure medication on your own, but never ignore changes in how you feel either. Both ideas are equally important. For many people, blood pressure medications are life-saving. They reduce the risk of heart attack. They lower the chance of stroke. They help protect your kidneys and heart every single day. But medications are only one part of healthy aging. Your body at 70 isn't the same as it was at 50. Your health history changes. Your activity level changes. Your diet changes. Sometimes your prescriptions need to change too. There's nothing unusual about that. One of the best things you can do is become an active participant in your healthcare. That doesn't mean trying to be your own doctor. It means paying attention. Notice if you suddenly become dizzy when you stand. Notice if your ankles begin swelling. Notice if you're making more bathroom trips than usual, feeling unusually tired, or developing a cough that won't go away. Those details matter. They may be more helpful to your healthcare provider than you realize. Many doctors have limited time during appointments. If you say, "I'm not feeling quite right," it's hard to know where to begin. But if you say, "I've been feeling lightheaded every morning after taking my medication," or "my legs have been swelling every evening for the past month," you've given them valuable information to work with. That observation can lead to a meaningful conversation. Another useful habit: checking your blood pressure at home if your healthcare provider recommends it. You don't need to check it constantly or panic over one unusual reading. Blood pressure naturally changes throughout the day. It rises after climbing stairs, drinking coffee, or feeling stressed. What matters is the overall pattern. Keep a simple log. Write down more than just numbers. Write down how you felt. Were you dizzy? Did you have a headache? Were you relaxed after breakfast, or had you just rushed in from running errands? These notes provide valuable context that numbers as alone cannot, just as important. Bring every medication, prescription, and over-the-counter into the conversation. Many people don't mention allergy pills, sleep aids, pain relievers, herbal supplements, or certain cold medicines. Some of these can raise blood pressure, increase drowsiness, or interact with your prescriptions unexpectedly. Your pharmacist is an excellent resource for questions like these. They're trained to spot medication interactions and often know your prescription history better than anyone else. Don't hesitate to ask them questions. That's exactly what they're there for. Healthy blood pressure isn't created by medication alone. The little things you do daily matter more than many realize. A walk around the neighborhood, choosing more fresh fruits and vegetables when you can, limiting excess salt without making meals bland, drinking enough water, getting consistent sleep, managing stress, staying connected with friends, family, or your community. These habits don't replace medication when medication is needed, but together they help your heart work more efficiently and support your overall health. And perhaps most important, don't accept every new symptom as just getting older. Growing older brings changes, that's true. But dizziness isn't automatically normal. Constant fatigue isn't automatically normal. Frequent falls aren't automatically normal. Confusion isn't automatically normal. Sometimes these symptoms come from an underlying medical condition. Sometimes they're related to medications. Sometimes there's something entirely different. The key is recognizing that they're worth discussing. Too many older adults stay silent because they don't want to bother anyone. They don't want to seem like they're complaining. They tell themselves they'll mention it next time. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. You deserve better than that. Your comfort matters. Your independence matters. Your quality of life matters. Never underestimate how much difference one thoughtful conversation with your healthcare provider can make. A small adjustment in dosage, a change in when you take your medication, a switch to a different medicine, or simply learning that what you're experiencing is expected and manageable. Sometimes those small changes help you feel steadier, more energetic, and more confident in your daily life. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live well, to enjoy family dinners without feeling exhausted, to take your morning walk with confidence, to work in your garden, to play with your grandchildren, to attend church, meet friends for coffee, or simply enjoy a quiet evening knowing you're taking good care of yourself. Knowledge is one of the most powerful tools you have. The more you understand your medications and how they affect your body, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions alongside your healthcare team. If you found this information helpful, share it with a spouse, parent, sibling, or friend over 60. It might answer questions they've been wondering about but never thought to ask. Until next time, take good care of yourself. Listen to what your body is telling you. Remember, small informed choices today can make a big difference for the years ahead.